Just taking you back a bit, around August 23rd, the FDA licensed the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine for individuals aged 16 and over. Then a large group of about 30 scientists and academics filed a Freedom of Information Act request a few days later, and requesting to see all the documentation that the FDA relied on to license, to actually authorize emergency use authorization of the vaccine. Now, under FOIA law, Freedom of Information Act law, the 1967 law, an agency has up to 20 days, within 20 business days, to determine whether they're going to comply with the request. It took the FDA, I think it was around November 20th, when they did release the first batch of documents. And what they released was less than 1% of the actual documentation they have. They have up to 471,000 pages. They released just a few hundred. And they responded that they were going to release at a rate of 500 pages a month. That would take them to 2076 to release all the documentation. They then came back and said, actually, we've got additional pages. It's going to take us up to 2096 to release all the information to the public. So it's really shocking. So the analysis that I did, I targeted a specific document called the cumulative analysis of post-authorization adverse event reports of the Pfizer vaccine. And that covered the period from December 1st, 2020, when it was given emergency use authorization, to February 28, 2021. So that's a 3-month period that we're talking about. About 1,228 deaths were recorded in that 3-month time period, which is very alarming because you have the former chief medical officer of Pfizer, talking to the Washington Journal around April of this year, saying that there have been no deaths recorded directly because of the vaccine, and that no corners were cut. So that's sort of quite shocking when we know that this document was produced, the cutoff period was February 28th of this year. And then we have the astounding number of adverse events, 40,000 individual cases, so for the individuals reporting, and then 150,000 events, meaning sort of symptoms. So one case, you could have various symptoms, 3 or 4 symptoms connected to an individual. The median value is less than 24 hours. So that's the time from a person has taken the vaccine, the actual adverse event occurring is less than 24 hours. So you have, for example, in the category of anaphylaxis, you have 9 recorded deaths, and out of the 9 deaths, 4 deaths occurred on the same day that the individuals took the vaccine. So that gives a very strong indication of vaccinal death causality. Yes, so it's really alarming to see that literally across the board, in all categories of adverse events, you're seeing women 3 times more affected by these adverse events. But what particularly stands out is the category of anaphylaxis. You have women 8 times being more affected. And what is also very alarming is that throughout this document, Pfizer says there's no new safety risks recorded. So there's nothing new to report here. So it's all brushed under the carpet. Remember, there were about 270 unusual pregnancies, and there were about 25 spontaneous abortions, from what I remember.
Yeah, that's incredible
and
numbers there.
We're talking about a 3-month time period here. A significant portion of cases are classified as serious cases. And a serious case is one that results in either hospitalization or a life-threatening consequence, like death. What is, I say, is shocking is that on the FDA's website, those sort of like the documents or the leaflet that you would get, in order to sort of make an informed consent, like let's look at all the risks. So on their website, you have a fraction of these adverse events being listed, side effects. And this is what's really alarming. There is no informed consent going on because the general public do not know the whole list of side effects that they can get from taking this experimental mRNA-based vaccine, and especially for the younger age cohorts where the risks of taking this vaccine overwhelmingly outweigh the benefits. And we're talking about COVID, or this virus, which has an infection mortality rate, if you're under 70, of less than 0.5% risk of dying.